Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 8. This is for episode 2. It's called The Damned. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen this episode yet, you will want to watch it before you watch this review, because of course there was the huge kind of return. Like I said, spoiler warning, in this episode we see the return of Morales. It's so juicy, I just don't even want to it's like a character death, right? I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's such a huge return that it's just like monumental for The Walking Dead, I think, for the hardcore fans. And it's something that, especially last year, a lot of us really had asked for, a lot of us really kind of wanted to see. So for them to finally kind of do that and kind of bring him back into the show, he's pretty much, I want to say, like the last loose end, so to speak, of the characters that kind of leave, and then eventually we kind of want to see what their fate was. Well, we got to see that with Morgan. He was able to come back and we were able to get to see what happened to him. But Morales being a season 1 character, we don't have that many left. That's one thing about the show, is that if you look at the season 1 survivors from The Walking Dead, you've got especially now after the season 7 premiere and you lose Glenn, there's very few actual survivors from the first season. You got like Rick, Carl, Morgan, Carol, and then you've got I'm probably forgetting a few others, but Morales, he's in there. He's one of the season 1 surviving characters from the very beginning of the series. So for them to kind of bring him back in, I just hope that he's able to survive for a little while and they don't just kill him off right away and have it be like some kind of little cameo or something like that, because that was wicked cool, man, just to see him. And also, this episode being so well done, kind of the concentration on the faces at the beginning and the end, because, you're seeing this familiar face, right? You as a viewer, and I'm sure for a lot of casual viewers, they're going to be like, I forget who this is, right? I don't remember who this character is, because you're literally going from season 8, episode 2, 101st episode, all the way back to the very first season. And the 5th episode was the last time we had saw him, from season 1 all the way up until now. So really crazy they would bring him back, and bringing him back as a villain. The best Rick to start was just, that was a really exciting, ending to the episode. But that said, the episode by itself really didn't need it. They could have cut out all that stuff and just had all the other things that they had in the episode, and it still would have been an amazing episode. Now, it's hard to say after seeing an episode like this, because they've done 101 episodes now, or at least we've seen 101 episodes air, like how good this episode is versus other seasons. How good is the premiere versus other seasons? Is this one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead ever? And it's really hard to say, because they've just done so many different types of episodes, some episodes being in different genres. Of course, this one being a action heavy episode, with the horror and the intensity going in. But you have episodes like the season 7 premiere, which is almost pure horror, and then you have just a wide array of different types of episodes for The Walking Dead, and everyone kind of having their own favorites, and everyone kind of having ones that stick out to them. This one to me feels most similar, I would say, because it's at the beginning of the season, to probably JSS from season 6. And this season also feels a bit similar to season 6 from what we're kind of seeing so far in the first couple episodes, where you kind of start off in the premiere with this, the zombie herd, but also all-out war, and then you just see this continue through. And as Scott Gimple said in Talking Dead, and he said in interviews before too, the first 4 episodes are like this. The first 4 episodes are just, crazy action, guns everywhere and gunfire and everything, and all the kind of stuff that I love to see. So it's awesome. So really, really exciting, man. And also the pacing in the episode was so fast. This was like, I think this was a regular runtime episode, but I found myself like, just being absolutely glued to the edge of my seat. Like, I didn't want to leave, because I didn't want to miss even like a second of a scene, because there was just so much happening so fast. And I felt like they really did a great job in this one of balancing all the different groups attacking different locations, because you have certain survivors that are attacking one outpost, and then other ones are attacking another, and then you have Rick and Daryl that are kind of trying to get their way up and inside, and you just have them kind of getting spread out in all these different directions everywhere. You have the gunfight going on outside, you have the kingdom that's kind of out there, so you just had a lot of different fighting going on in different spots. And in this one, rather than just feeling like a single battle, this one really did feel like all out war. This one felt like just like what we wanted to see from the comics, which is a war. You have all these different battles happening simultaneously. You have everyone in kind of disarray and not sure what they're going to do. You have even Rick, our strong one, the leader, so to speak, kind of going in there with his marching orders. He's pretty much giving everybody to clean everything out. But then, for him even, there's questions because, you get to see like a baby and the Morales, like all this stuff. And then he sees himself in the mirror and he's like, who am I? And so you get these questions that come through of like, is it okay to just go through and clean people out? Morgan doesn't seem to have a problem with it because he's kind of made peace with that he's got to clear, right? He's going into his beast mode, his clear mode. He's going to clear everything and everybody. Like the angel of death, the angel of darkness, right? Just going through, just shoot, boom, 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 boom. And then he comes out and he's all perplexed and confused. Like, why are all these people standing here? Why aren't you guys killing them? Why aren't you shooting them? Don't you know? So it was just, oh man, it was just so intense, so exciting in just so many scenes. I mean, just all the way through. I can't wait to watch this one again later. Honestly, after I'm done these videos with you guys, I'm going to watch it again because it was just so action-packed. And I really think that episodes like this are really what makes The Walking Dead The Walking Dead. It's what separates The Walking Dead from a lot of series where it's like, yeah, they have some pretty good episodes. But sometimes when The Walking Dead is on, man, they do some of the best episodes like ever in any series. And I really think for Walking Dead, this was one of those. This is what we needed to see because it's based on all that war. You want it to feel like a war. You got to have a couple episodes like this to really drive that point home that this isn't just talking and speeches. This is actually a war. And as such, we're really not sure what the fate of our survivors is going to be. And one side is not necessarily going to just cleanly beat the other all the way through, which is one thing I always loved about The Walking Dead. I hate shows and comic books and movies where you go through and you may have a war like that, but basically everybody on the good guy side survives. Everybody on the good guy side survives. Nobody gets injured. Nobody gets shot. Nobody gets hurt. And in this one, we do get to see some, I don't know if I want to say major character deaths, but there's character deaths in here, or at least one pretty big character death, which is Francine, who, okay, maybe she wasn't a huge character. You might put her at like a D list, but it was there. And then of course you have Eric as well getting shot too, and we're not sure if he's going to make it, if he's going to survive, or if he's going to die soon because of all this craziness happening. And just, man, so excited. Gunshots all over the place. So let's start from the top. So we start off with the Rick speech from the end of the first episode. We get to see all the different faces. We go Rick, we go Daryl, Ezekiel, Carol, Jesus, Tara, Morgan, Aaron, and then we see the guns. And then we get to see a group of saviors with, what was her name, Mar. And she's on the, because we haven't really seen, like, a lot of them are kind of like red shirt saviors. We don't know, or you could say black shirt, I guess, in this case. We really don't know much about them, but they gave us one kind of scene there at the beginning of the episode that was really exciting when you get to see her and she's kind of calling out on her radio and she can't get a hold of almost anybody except for like one person. And then Todd, and then you got the question of like she kind of starting to figure out what's happening. But us as a viewer, I think it was really well chosen because we get to see them kind of roll in with this kind of the cars with the barriers on them, kind of from the savior perspective, and you almost get a little bit of sympathy for them. It's like, okay, they're bad guys, you can clearly see, right? They're ugly, they're wearing all black and this kind of stuff. They look kind of ratty, nasty, this kind of thing. They're saviors, but you see them all kind of roll in like Aaron and the others with all the cars, all shielded up, ready to go. And oh my God, it was just like what we're about to see is going to be some crazy shit. Then we go over to the moat. So we get to see the moat, which is going around the one savior outpost that we've seen them attack before. So it wasn't new, but it didn't feel repetitive or anything of the sort because it was totally different than it was the first time. And you kind of get to see, the whole group kind of go through. You got Morgan, so he pulls, and then you've got two of them that go down, and then they start going in. And here's where we get kind of a nice mix of, you've got the loud gunfire going in the one spot with Aaron and the others, and kind of the bullets everywhere and, flying high. But then you got the other kind of silence that mixes in with it too, which is, I would say, deafening as well, because you see them kind of go through and they're all trying to be quiet. And as a viewer, you're like watching, you're like I gotta be quiet too, right? Because I'm in that's right, I'm in this shit. And then you see them all put their hands up, and then I think it's Jesus later that puts it down, and then all the rest go down, and then they just start lighting everything up. But again, it's not a sweep. You do have the one group where a couple of Kingdomers get shot, and then Morgan, of course, as well too, is kind of right next to them. So again, just feeling like Rick and the others are clearly besting them. They're clearly winning here, but they're not winning every exchange. There's certain exchanges that they are losing, certain exchanges that are not going well for them, and just the amount of saviors is pretty crazy, and the amount of different locations is just, oh my God, awesome. And then we continue through. We got the stuff with Tara, and she's kind of questioning whether or not Morgan's down. So you kind of get a fake out death where it looks like he's almost dead, but you got the mention of I don't die, so he survives at least for a little while. At least right now he survives. We've got just gunfire everywhere. We've got Daryl and Rick, the elevator scene, which is kind of cool to see. Just kind of see them go through, and again, very exciting because you're not sure if someone's going to pop out at any time, and later on they kind of start to, as you would expect. We get the scene with Tara, Jesus, and Dean. So we've got this guy who basically pisses himself and acts like he's like a worker and like he's surrendering, right? So this brings in kind of the question, which I didn't feel like, even after 100 episodes, I felt like it was kind of fresh, even though it's kind of an old question of, what do you do in this type of situation when you have somebody who's surrendered? Do you just kill them, or do you let them live? And in this case, we kind of got to see that they probably should have just killed them. But even after, you have Jesus who kind of ties him up, even though he probably should have, just put him down at that point, especially after he kind of struggled and made it like that. But it reminded me a little bit of like season 5 when you have the part with Tyrese and what's his name? The one termite, Martin, right? Yeah, Martin. That's right. Comes to me now. So yeah, so kind of one of those types of situations. So it's not something we've never seen before, but it felt fresh and it felt original in this episode to kind of see this question, because you really get to kind of feel for them as you see them going through, and they just want to accomplish this task, but at the same time, it just feels so wrong because you see, some people are surrendering, some people are helpless, some people are putting their guns down, and it's just it's like, what do you do? So so Jesus, of course, being a little bit more, kind of lets the others surrender, and you've got the part with Morgan who goes out, who wants to shoot the one savior who was part of Gavin's group with the long hair, who had caused the death, or shot and caused the death of Ben from the Kingdom, if you guys remember from last season. So very exciting stuff there as well too, because I thought Morgan was just going to walk up and shoot him, and then the others might freak out, and then you just might get gunfire everywhere or something crazy. So the shootout continuing in the main kind of courtyard there spot where you have, or the outside part where Aaron and the others got them pushed back, and the Z's start coming in. So when the one Z gets Mara, I thought that was really, really cool. That was an exciting sequence, as well as a lot of the others, there too. Carol and Ezekiel. So Ezekiel, fake it till you make it. I love that, because that's a good motto. I know a few people that use that one, and it's good, man. Ezekiel's just like, in reality, so he's totally, he wants everybody to kind of feel like reassured and all this and happy and everything. But of course, he himself is not 100%, sure that this is going to work. And he does bring Shiva out, which was kind of cool to see, to kill the one guy and, kind of track him down, so to speak, and take care of him, which Shiva does, which was really cool. And we have Zombie Kill of the Week. So I don't always do Zombie Kill of the Weeks anymore. I used to in the first few seasons, but there are not always, after this many episodes, that many novelle or interesting zombie kills. But I loved in this one Jerry's zombie kills. Jerry's zombie kills in this one with the oversized huge axe was just amazing. Like the one he smokes, and then the other ones after. I think he kills 3 with a double-sided battle axe, which is so sweet. Probably my favorite stuff from the Kingdom group. But it was also cool at the beginning when you see kind of the dust kind of everywhere and them kind of chasing after the one guy. And then at the end, of course, we have Ezekiel raising his sword and not willing to back up, going to go straight ahead, going to go forward, even though they kind of know that they're coming. So man, really cool stuff. I love the music in this one as well too. Some of the music was really interesting choices, very intense when it needed to be, which was great. Let's see. I mean, just it's just so exciting. We do get the part also where you have Daryl who sees kind of the handcuffs there. So I thought that was kind of a cool little Easter egg, or kind of throwback to Merle. Of course, with having to saw his hand off and that kind of thing. So it's kind of some cool things like that in the episode too. I'd have to search through for more Easter eggs. I'm sure there's more because they always put some good ones. We've got them taking the pictures in the background of the group as they're surrendering, which was cool. With the Polaroid, kind of a nice kind of flip, because saviors like to do that as well. And then we've got, let's see, we've got, so Jesus alive, we've got Rick, Gracie, is a baby who are, at this point, I'm not really sure. I'm going to watch it again to try to get more info of whose that is. Is it Morales? Is it one of the other guys? I do think if maybe they had Morales have a baby, that might kind of add more weight to him. And maybe Rick can kind of talk him into switching sides or something, and he could become like, a more important, character in the future. Well, he's already very important, but like maybe switch from saviors to survivors. We'll have to see what they do with that if they decide to. But some good questions there at the end that I'm excited to see answered. You guys can weigh in on those in the comments below. I've only seen it once so far, so leave a comment. Let me know what you think. you know, if you think it is Morales, or if there's maybe some stuff there, reasons to think it might be the other guy that Rick had to fight with, and then kind of chokes out and throws him into the thing, kills him, which was kind of a cool one. Let's see. So we've got that, and the scene at the end, and then the Savior's coming, and then face Rick, and the faces kind of fade out, and just really, really sweet. So, I mean, in terms of score for the episode, like, I'm biased as hell because we had been waiting to see Morales come back for so long. I didn't think they were even going to do it ever. I really thought, like, okay, does it make sense he'd be alive? Well, I don't know. Does it make sense he would be there? No, probably not. But then again, there aren't that many surviving groups around. So, you know, like, Negan the Saviors is pretty big. They had a lot of people. So if he did manage to make it, is it possible he might end up there? Is it possible he might try going there? You know, it's definitely interesting stuff, and something you can think on whether or not it feels contrived, or if it just kind of makes sense that he might find his way there. Just, they've been around, though. They've been in a lot of different spots, and they did kind of start in a similar place. So I don't know. You guys can weigh in on that one in the comments below. Let me know what you think. But even though, so basically, I'm saying I'm going to give this one a perfect 10 out of 10, just for Morales being back. You know what I mean? And I recognize that I'm biased, but to be honest, it's so action-packed, so exciting, edge of your seat kind of stuff from beginning to end. No doubt must have been very hard to do, and I think it elevates the premiere of this season for people who saw the premiere and they were like, I don't know, you know, I would have liked to see more. But now you get to see an episode like this where it's probably just as good as the premiere, if not maybe better, because Morales is back. And the action in this one is maybe even better than it was in the premiere. And I can't give it anything but like a perfect score for an episode like this, considering, you know, like I think Scott Gimple said they did in like 8 days. It's like, what? You know, they must have been like 16 or 17 or 18-hour days, sleep like 5 hours and get back to work, because, I mean, it was just... so exciting, man. Just so exciting, and a great time to be a fan of The Walking Dead. And I'm sure for any of you guys who stuck with the series, even though a lot of people were like, oh, no, I like season 7 so much, I guess this would be your reward episode. For me, it was. I mean, for me, this was like, oh, yeah, this is why I dedicate so much time to making these videos and doing this with you guys. Yeah, this is why. Because this was awesome, man. It was just amazing. So I can't give it anything but like a perfect 10. It was just incredible. Oh, I love this episode so much. It's hard to say if it's like one of my favorites ever, right? Because there's been so many. But damn, after first seeing it, it's like, it's got to be up there, you know? It's like, I feel like I have to say it's got to be top 10. But for a second episode of a season, for not a premiere finale, just amazing stuff. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you like this review, please thumb it up below. Check out the reaction. If you didn't see it, I did it before this one. Crazy stuff, and I'll be back in about an hour for my video predictions for what I think is going to happen in episode 3. Check out these other videos here, guys, if you haven't seen them. And that's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon. Well, I hope you're wearing your subscribing pants.
What?
Your subscribing pants, because you're going to subscribe to this channel wearing those pants.